They called him Puff Daddy, then P. Diddy, now just Diddy. But behind the shiny suits, the million-dollar deals, and the iconic ad-libs lies a story far more tangled than the headlines have ever dared to tell. Sean John Combs was born on November 4th, 1969, in Harlem, New York City, a place where dreams either got swallowed by the streets or soared through struggle. His mother, Janice, was a model and teacher's assistant, while his father, Melvin Combs, had deep ties to the underworld and was shot dead when Sean was just 2 years old. That murder would haunt his life's backdrop: whispers of danger, the cost of power, and the silence of buried truths. Growing up without a father, Sean's life moved fast. He hustled early, danced, styled himself like a star before the world knew his name. He enrolled at Howard University, a breeding ground for Black excellence, but dropped out in his sophomore year to chase music. That decision wasn't just a leap of faith, it was a defiance of fate. He interned at Uptown Records, quickly rising through the ranks with a relentless grind that turned heads. But Sean wasn't built to take orders. He was built to lead. In 1993, he launched Bad Boy Records. The world shifted. He signed the notorious B.I.G., and hip-hop would never be the same. The streets of Brooklyn echoed with Biggie's voice, and Diddy, then Puff Daddy, was right beside him, dancing in the videos, orchestrating a cultural takeover. Hits came fast. Money came faster. Puff Daddy wasn't just a mogul, he was the moment. But with fame came friction. In 1997, Biggie was murdered in a still unsolved shooting. The hip-hop world shook. Puff's world crumbled. But he didn't fall. He released "I'll Be Missing You," a tribute to his friend, and it went triple platinum. The nation mourned with him. But grief, in Puff's world, was a motivator. He expanded: clothing lines, fragrances, reality shows, vodka empires. He was everywhere, untouchable, or so it seemed. Beneath the luxury, lawsuits piled up. Allegations swirled. The nightclub shooting in 1999 almost cost him everything. Jennifer Lopez, Shine, courtrooms, flashing cameras. It was chaos. But Puff emerged rebranded as P. Diddy. New name, new era. The music still flowed. He discovered talents, signed deals, filled clubs. But whispers lingered. In 2023, the whispers became screams. Cassie Ventura, his longtime ex-girlfriend and artist, accused him of years of abuse, both physical and emotional. Others followed. Civil lawsuits stacked up. A federal investigation launched. Diddy, the man who once danced through videos, was now facing accusations that painted him in a different light. Racketeering, sex trafficking, abuse, coercion. The same man who built dreams was now being cast as a nightmare, and while his legal team fights to silence the storm, the culture has started asking deeper questions. Who did we really celebrate all these years? Who did we call a mogul? But that's just one side, because even in controversy, Diddy holds influence. He's a billionaire with roots in every corner of the entertainment world. From producing hit records to shaping fashion trends, he's been a shaper of Black culture, a gatekeeper, a trendsetter, a father figure to many. But in the age of accountability, legacy is no longer protected by wealth. And now his legacy teeters on the edge of reinvention or ruin. What's fascinating is how far-reaching his empire spreads. Liquor brands like Ciroc, clothing labels like Sean John, television ventures like Revolt TV. His fingerprints are on everything. And even as the lawsuits mount, deals are still alive. That's the paradox of power. But then came the Nigerian connection. Unconfirmed reports, viral tweets, and gossip blogs started drawing lines between Diddy and the West African music scene. He'd expressed admiration for Afrobeats, attended Nigerian industry events, even hinted at cross-continental collaborations. But whispers went deeper. Some sources allege Diddy had secret investment interests in Nigerian labels, possibly mentoring rising stars from the shadows. Was he grooming a new empire abroad, knowing the storm was coming in America? Was Nigeria a fresh start? Or a quiet haven? And what does that say about the global music industry, where influence transcends borders and scandals don't always travel with the same heat? As the U.S. media focuses on court filings and depositions, African social media speculates about hidden deals, secret signings, and Diddy's unspoken role in exporting Afrobeats to America. In Lagos, some insiders whisper he backed a popular Afrobeats artist's early tour funding. In Abuja, a former label exec claims Combs' team explored real estate for a media hub. True or not, the narrative sticks. Because Diddy's story is no longer about just one man, it's a mirror for the industry. How do we separate genius from abuse? How do we reckon with artists who gave us the soundtrack to our youth, but may have caused harm behind closed doors? That's what makes this story different. It's not just another scandal, it's a reckoning. And as the July 2025 trial date approaches, more testimonies may surface and more secrets may unravel. Diddy once asked, "Can't nobody hold me down?" But maybe it was never about being held down. Maybe it's about finally being held accountable. And maybe, just maybe, his legacy won't be shaped by beats or bottles, but by whether he faces the truth head on. Because fame fades, but facts don't. And in the end, the world always remembers the full story. Not just the music, not just the money, but the man behind it all. This is not the story they told you. This is the one they tried to hide. And now it's time the world listens.